Have you ever found yourself completely stuck in a tricky social situation and just thought, man, I really wish I had a remote control for the human brain? You know, just a simple button you could press to skip right over a social hurdle, totally diffuse an awkward moment, or, let's be honest, just smoothly get the exact outcome you're looking for. Well, you are definitely not alone in that.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're serving up a highly focused explainer based on a seriously fascinating breakdown of 19 simple psychological tricks that, believe it or not, actually work in the real world. We're skipping all the dense, boring academic textbooks on neurolinguistic programming today. Instead, we're distilling these incredibly practical, completely science-backed, everyday methods right here for you. Because by the time we wrap this up, you're going to have an entirely new toolkit to navigate your daily life.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Our agenda today covers 4 main pillars. Number 1, hack your own brain. Number 2, master everyday persuasion. Number 3, diffuse tension and awkwardness. And finally, win at work and life. So starting off with Section 1, hack your own brain. This is all about mastering your memory, your sleep, and your mornings. Number 2, as in literally making 2 fists. Okay, so as soon as your alarm clock goes off tomorrow morning, don't just roll over and hit the snooze button. Instead, sit up and throw 2 fists in the air, kind of like a soccer player who just scored the game-winning goal. Now, I know it sounds absolutely bizarre, but physically mimicking that victory pose genuinely tricks your brain. You'll actually wake up feeling instantly refreshed and pretty triumphant.
Oppressive crab. Okay, let me explain this one. Have you ever left the house and instantly felt that sinking, horrible panic of, wait, did I actually lock the door? Did I turn off the iron? We've all been there. Well, here's the fix. When you're doing those routine tasks, say an absolutely absurd randomized phrase out loud. Like, one day say green rabbit when you unplug the iron. Say oppressive crab when you lock the front door. The next time that lock anxiety hits, you probably won't remember the physical turn of the key, but your brain will absolutely remember saying that totally weird phrase, and it'll calm you right down.
Now this one is just incredible to me. If you had a terrible night's sleep, literally lie to yourself and tell yourself that you slept great. According to a study from scientists at Colorado College, and this was published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology, placebo sleep works 100%. If you genuinely tell yourself and actually believe that you are well rested, your brain functions better, literally, even if objectively you didn't sleep well at all. It turns out your belief dictates your brain's reality. How wild is that?
Moving on to Section 2, master everyday persuasion. This is all about getting people to do things and, of course, making them like you.
There's actually a fascinating subconscious difference between these 2 phrases. You should never start a request with "could you?" Subconsciously, asking "could you call the neighbors" triggers the brain to view it as a theoretical question. They might subconsciously think, well, yes, theoretically I could, but I'm not actually agreeing to do it. Sure, it's polite, but if you want to be absolutely certain the task gets done, rephrase it to "please call the neighbors." That tiny shift takes it from a hypothetical right into a direct request.
Okay, here is a fantastic toolkit of physical body language tricks. First up, want to earn some serious brownie points at a new job or school? Ask someone to explain something to you. Seriously, even if you already know the answer. It dramatically improves their overall attitude towards you. Next, if you really want a yes to a question, nod subtly as you make your request. Waiters actually use this to sell more food all the time. It makes people way more attentive to your words without them even realizing why. Finally, if someone is just intensely focused on a serious phone call, just extend your hand. They'll hand you whatever they're holding, or just blindly take whatever you hand them. It is an absolute lifesaver when you're trying to clean up.
If you really need somebody to do something for you, casually doubt their capabilities. Just tell them they probably wouldn't even be able to pull it off. Most people are hardwired to try really hard just to prove you wrong. Alternatively, if you need a huge favor, make a small, slightly unusual request first just to establish a connection. Once they say yes to that little thing, they likely won't have the heart to turn down your main issue.
All right, Section 3, diffuse tension and awkwardness. Let's look at navigating difficult or awkward conflicts.
Consider this your personal awkwardness defense toolkit. If you ever want to make someone uncomfortable, stare directly at the middle of their forehead. It immediately makes them feel like they're under intense scrutiny. Or, what if someone is dodging a question? Just pause your speech and maintain eye contact. The dead silence makes them so incredibly uncomfortable, they'll usually keep talking and just naturally reveal the truth. Now, if you're on the subway and someone is rudely staring at you, stare directly at their shoes, relentlessly. It will drive them absolutely crazy. And lastly, if you act worried every single time you see a specific person, eventually they'll subconsciously start feeling worried every time you see you.
Now, language can completely shift a conflict. Instead of using an accusatory phrase like, "You didn't close the window," try using the passive voice, "The window was left open all night." This entirely removes you from sounding like an accusing, finger-pointing meanie. The person still recognizes and learns from their mistake, for sure, but you completely avoid triggering their defensive reflex. It's a real game changer.
When someone tries to drag you into unnecessary drama, just follow these 3 steps. Step 1. Kill them with kindness. Saying something completely nice stops aggressive people right in their tracks. Step 2. If that doesn't work, keep calm and remain entirely silent. Honestly, there is absolutely nothing more irritating to an instigator than being completely ignored. And step 3. Now, if this is a close friend or a partner, save the silence. Instead, deliberately put yourself in their shoes. Try to find the point in their objection that you might be missing, and you'll quickly de-escalate the whole argument.
And that brings us to Section 4, Win at Work and Life. This is for hitting peak performance in those high-stakes professional situations.
Here is a absolutely brilliant strategy for dealing with that one lazy coworker who just slows the whole team down. Don't say, "Hey, do this whole project." Instead say, "Step 1, start with this." Psychologically, it just seems like a tiny bite-sized workload. Then the second they finish it, you hit them with, "Step 2, very good, now continue with this." You're simply piecemealing the work until they've magically finished the entire job you wanted done in the first place. We all know public speaking is terrifying for most people, right? But these 2 vital hacks can totally save you. First, always bring a water bottle. And not just because your nerves are going to turn your mouth into the Sahara Desert, but because taking a deliberate sip gives you a perfectly natural pause to remember a part of your speech that slipped your mind. The audience will literally never know. Second, if you're feeling anxious, just admit it to the audience immediately. It lightens the mood, calms your nerves, and instantly builds sympathetic rapport with listeners who can frankly completely relate to how you're feeling.
For your next major negotiation, try this. Prepare to be a little bit disappointed. If you're dealing with a high price you want lowered, or maybe a low salary offer you want raised, even if you generally like the terms, react with mild disappointment. Showing that tiny bit of letdown is essentially a magic trick that consistently nudges the other party into offering you slightly better conditions just to win your complete satisfaction. So, the really crucial point here is understanding the timeline of human memory, especially when the stakes are super high, like during job interviews. As you can see, the start of the day is highly remembered. The end of the day, also highly remembered. But the middle of the day, it's essentially a blurry void for interviewers. So if you're scheduling a job interview, you need to absolutely insist on the very first slot of the morning or the very last slot of the workday. You will naturally stand out among the blur of other candidates simply because of how human memory sequencing works.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer. So I have to ask, which of these 19 psychological tricks are you going to test out tomorrow? The real world is your laboratory, and you are walking away today with a really powerful, actionable new toolkit. Seriously, try yelling an absurd phrase when locking your door, or subtly nodding the next time you ask for a favor. Put these directly into practice and just watch how smoothly your social interactions begin to flow. Thanks so much for learning with us, and we'll see you on the next explainer.